an ongoing, inescapable, ugly education. Never let schooling interfere with your education. Mark Twain. Although this quote is attributed to Twain, the credit really probably belongs to late 19th century novelist Grant Allen. Just a small aside to anyone who might find that important. I recently heard a radio talk show talking about the hoax that is our college system. I do agree with their point that unless you are going to be a medical doctor, an engineer, a nurse or accountant or an academic parasite that unfortunately only self-perpetuates or breeds more academic parasites, it's really nothing more than a money-making machine that indoctrinates our young people into loving and obeying the status quo, the state, government, and the current operating corporate structure. A state-serving fascism, or is it corporate-serving statism? All of that, while taking over our brightest young minds, the ones that manage to escape the "no child gets ahead" race to the bottom of the worldwide national educational rankings. You know, the ones who still might have some semblance of career ambition. As I will explain, the following shows the way that state-serving fascism continues on. So here is the real insidious aspect of it all. The amount of debt that graduating students are saddled with upon graduation through their student loans is then used as a proverbial gun to the head, if you will, to all of these young corporate ladder-climbing want-to-bees. This gun to the head forces these young people to either keep perpetrating all the status quo lies that I often mention, or they face losing their high-paying jobs or medical practices, thus not being able to pay back those inescapable, unbankruptable, mammoth-sized student loan debts. This handcuffing educational scam, it is becoming more and more obvious, is the biggest contributor to the constant and continual slide of our once exceptional country down into the economic New World Order, liberty-killing, Big Brother abyss that it now finds itself in. Part of the glorious, undeniably happening awakening that we could all get more involved with would involve us getting the real education that the likes of Twain or Allen were alluding to. An awakening where we open our eyes and we learn how the world really works, learn how the spiritual battle really rages. Most importantly, we can get right with our Maker and learn the reason that He made us to be living in such a time as this. This would involve us getting back to God's Word. My Bible tells me to resist all evil at every turn. Our country and the world right now is poised precariously on the precipice of either choice A, a restoration of the fruits of the American Revolution and all the God-ordained blessings that liberty brings onto this earth, or choice B, a new dark age and all the drudgery that satanic slavery entails. It is totally up to us. God's unwavering word still says in 2 Chronicles 7:14 NIV, "If my people, who are called by my name, will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sin and will heal their land." Maybe this is a better actual Mark Twain quote. In the beginning of a change, the patriot is a scarce man, and brave and hated and scorned. When his cause succeeds, the timid join him, for then it costs nothing to be a patriot. That seems to be the very expensive, real lesson of God-ordained wisdom, way beyond educational value, that we could all learn from all of this. Just imagine what higher education could bring to humanity when that proverbial vocational gun to the head is holstered and the government, corporate, aka fascist serving, high college costs interests are vanquished. A world where students, turned into productive new wild Western world cowboys, can not only use their educations to serve themselves and disarm the fascists, but instead serve all of humanity. A world where scientists can practice real science that discovers real truth, not beholden to corporate interests, and doctors can practice real medicine that heals, not beholden to insurance/pharmaceutical interests, and lawyers can practice real law that serves out real justice, not beholden to politicians and bureaucratic interests. I know, that sounds too wonderful and impossible, but could we eventually get there? And academics could practice real learning, Not just learn how to better serve the fascists that control them and their higher education, and then pass that real skill of learning on to other students that would be, once and for all, free to really learn, and maybe even learn once and for all if we can attribute that now irrelevant quote to Twain, or not to Twain. That is the question.